vegan. I could go on playing this mouth harp as I did many years ago. I found it, and I was just walking all nights through this, playing this on my own in the darkness in summer nights. It was wonderful, you know. It's the best companion. Myself, you know, talking to myself in my mind, just with music. Music are also a kind of thought, language. And it keeps me really close to myself. I mean, dancing, making music. I do that all the time when I come into the room here, the kitchen, for you, to see you, and every day, because it brings me to myself, who I am. I feel that. That means I can have great ideas, intuition comes, I am happy, I smile. Yeah, all these things, that is, I'm myself. That comes with music. And it's not by mistake, not by chance. That is really also according to Indian philosophy. They say silence is the base of everything. Music comes from silence, and that's where we have to go to find ourselves, be silent. Yeah? Or listen to music, that's the closest we can get. And you know, these kind of things are very important to myself. And I always try to be happy. I do my best so that you can be happy too. That's the greatest you can do, I think, making others happy, right? Yeah. Okay, and one great way to do it for me is fasting. Today is one of my my weekly fasting day. Once a week I do that now. I remember when I began fasting, I was I was a teenager. Actually, a best friend of mine came up with the idea of fasting. I had heard of it, I never did it before, and we were just crazy and wanted to try everything, and we said, let's fast. We lived at home, parents were cooking for us, and so on, and we just decided not to eat anymore. We just stopped eating. We had no idea what would happen, and it was amazing. After 3 days, we felt, wow, the hunger is no more. And you know, this kind of experience, we were just doing it. And later I tried many other ways of fasting, systematically, of course, with yoga routine and all these things. But you know, now, after decades of trying fasting and so, this 1 day a week seems the best way. It's the gentle juice fasting. That means I take it easy, I do just a little bit, or what's just 1 day a week, but every day, every week, every year, you know, every decade, I just continue. That's the new master plan, and it's the best I think I ever did, because it is just constantly adding to success. No stepping back, just always ahead, you know. That's the best success you can have. A steep success and afterwards you fall down again, that's very bad. That's not sustainable. So instead, I choose slowly rising. That's the best I can do, and it is because gentle juice fasting with 1 day a week only is easy, and you don't need to see a medical advisor for that. Science, medical science, when I get that right, I mean, you can always correct me if you find another information, but as far as what I found out, reading and studying it in the scriptures and the science, medical science, they say if you begin a fasting more than 1 day, you should look for a medical assistance, because after 1 day it can become dangerous. There can be you can hurt yourself without noticing even, because there are so many things happening inside, but not on the first day. That is very simple. Just not eating 1 day is harmless, as long as you feel great. No headaches, no dizziness, no any things, you know, these kind of things. If you feel great, you can't go wrong with only 1 day. That's what I like. It's for everybody. You know, I like things for everyone. That is it's not a universalism in that way that I want to do everybody do it or so. No, I mean, if everybody can do it, it's a good thing, I think. I like it easy. So that's what I'm doing here. I do things and I show you things that everybody can do without a biggie, and Of course, sometimes you need a little bit of discipline. Yeah, but everyone can do that too. Yeah, it's not asking too much. We do so many things that need discipline, so why not that? So it's not asking too much, I guess, and the success is amazing. It's overwhelming. It's one of the most important, the most effective things I introduced in my personal regular life practice is the gentle juice fasting once a day, once a week, only one day. So I always make these nice juices on that day. It's also a reason why I'm looking forward to these days already. You know, when the day comes, what kind of juice would I make today? I make a lot of juices on a fasting day. I drink water, coffee, tea, plant milks, whatever, broth, even vegetable broth. I drink everything, yeah? You know, when it's healthy. But the juices are special because they are, you know, precious. You know, they have all these wonderful fruit and vegetables, herbs, everything, yeah. And then you can create a new flavor, and the energy is going directly into the body, and you thrive. It's full of energizing, very energizing. The juice, I like it a lot. Looking forward to that, and always the experience, you know, to invent a new flavor, to create a new flavor with all these wonderful ingredients. That is so much fun. So today I make a kale juice, a green juice, together with a red juice. So it will be a deep dark green color here. If you combine green and red, you get these they can become almost black, the colors. Green and red. That's a trick from painting. Here's a nice beet. I cut it into pieces for the juicer to fit in. Same with the kale here. I have some kale leaves. I cut it into pieces for the juicer to fit in. And that is the base of my juice today, kale and beet. Very powerful vegetables, both on their own, in their own way. Kale is the one vegetable with the most nutrients. You don't find any other vegetable has more nutrients than kale. It's really amazing. Kale is the king of all. Yeah, if it comes to nutrient density, that's kale. And beet is the one, I would say, you can create the most diverse flavors with. I didn't find anything like beet to create more fascinating and different flavors. That's beet to me. That's a very nice thing. I like beet juices. And to combine these two is, of course, a little bit challenging because both of them you cannot juice all by itself. You have to add some fruit to make it delicious. And today I add orange and apple. Apple especially is for the kale, I would say. That is a typical kale fruit. It goes nice with kale. But with this, the kale juice might not be sweet enough. You can run into an issue. Only juicing kale and apple, it might not be sweet enough. It depends on the apple. And here, orange will take care of that. It's very sweet, and it really makes the juice sweeter. And it's also sour a little bit, but that's also nice for kale. It's a large amount of orange and apple both. Yeah, more than 2 cups each. I get 3 apples or so, and 5 or so juice oranges, so it's a lot. Similar amount to make kale and beet juice delicious. So that's the start. I will add another green to give a nice new flavor to it, and that is cilantro, another green. It's a green herb, a whole bunch of cilantro. It's a very strong flavor, and it's very helpful on a fasting day because the cilantro, like all greens, but even more so, it cleanses the body from heavy metals. That's very important. Heavy metals can be a very hard, heavy burden for the body, especially the heavy metals go into the inner organs. Oftentimes the body keeps them, and then they damage the inner organs, the heavy metals. And that's not good, so you have to make sure that you release them, especially in our modern technical industrialized societies. We have a lot of heavy metal content in our air and in the food and in the water, and so it's good to really, and the cilantro is a nice way to do that. Parsley too, greens in general, but parsley and kale especially are strong in that. So kale and parsley and cilantro I've always at home and try to make nice recipes with it. to have it on a regular basis to cleanse out, you know. So that is the kale, the cilantro, and so that is the flavor base of my recipe, you know. Kale and beet, nicely harmonized by apple and orange, very simple. And the cilantro to give it a new flavor. Yeah, it's a very strange, hard flavor, but I guess it might be nice and to see what happens with the beet, especially as for these amazing flavors. And I will enhance all the flavors, all these new flavors. I enhance it with lemon and ginger. That's a nice combination with many recipes. A classic adds the sour lemon, brings out on the one side the sugar in the fruit. It makes it sweeter by contrast, by opposition. It brings out the sweetness, underlines the sweetness, and also the sour lemon balances the bitter flavors as they are in greens especially. Also the beet can also have some bitter flavors, the earth tones, and that's also balanced by sour lemon flavor. So that's the lemon. Yeah, it is nice to the others. And the fire of the ginger has another effect. It brings, with ginger, you can, in general, absorb many more nutrients from all the other plants. Ginger is enhancing your ability to absorb nutrients, and it also has a fire to it. The fire, you talk it in more traditional terms, yeah, it's not a modern term. The fire in the ginger, it also enhances the flavors and the effects of the other, brings fire to it. It makes it more powerful. It is an enhancer. Lemon and ginger is a pairing that's always oftentimes nice for many recipes to enhance the other flavors. And I will try some peel from a lemon. Yeah, lemon peel is a very strong, powerful, and I can't use too much, then it gets too bitter, and I have to watch a little bit, to be a little bit aware. While juicing, I will try a little bit of peel, and then I know if I can use more or rather less. I decide that while juicing. I always do that. So careful with the peel. It's super healthy, but it can be too much. When you can make a whole juice, the whole flavor, you can ruin the whole flavor when you take too much lemon peel. Can be very unpleasant. So careful with the lemon peel. It can be wonderful, but in moderation. So I'll try that now. So we'll juice now my fruit and veggies and come back in a moment and show you what it tastes like, if I can. Now look at this beautiful color. It's more than a liter, so a liter would be until here, but it is full. It's almost to the brim, and it's a really nice amount of juice. That will take me some time to drink because I have to drink it slowly. As I said, the juice goes directly in. It doesn't have to be digested. So because of the fiber, and the fiber, that is what comes out of the juicer. Yeah, in the end, this remains, the pulp, the trestle, that is mostly fiber. That's what makes digestion work. That's usually an important part of the food. And without fiber, there is no healthy food. Fiber is only made by plants. That's what we need necessarily, definitely for being healthy and thrive, for the intestines to work properly. On a fasting day, I take out the fiber and put digestion to rest. It is a long night, so to say. A fasting day is a night, so for the digestion, it can rest. And that gives me a lot of energy, extra energy for the other parts of the body. And so the juice has no fiber, or a little only, of course, and then it goes directly into the bloodstream. The energy is fully there, so I need to drink it slowly. What the fiber does usually is moderating the nutrient intake. It makes the nutrient take in slowly. The body takes the nutrients in slowly with the fiber in the right way. Without the fiber, I have to drink slowly. Otherwise, it can be a rush of sugar in the blood or so, these kind of things. I don't want that. So drinking slowly on a fasting day, that is very important to feel great. Yeah. That's why it will take me some time to drink it. And I used almost all the lemon peel, you see. There is a third or so left, or a quarter, not too much. The rest's in there. I tasted in between and it tastes terrific, wonderful. So these other flavors, the beet and the kale and the cilantro, and they're strong flavors and a lot of orange and apple. So I could afford, this juice could afford more from the peel. So that's why I think I didn't taste this now. I tasted in between. So there's always a change if you have all the ingredients together. I'll taste it now and find out if I have too much of the peel, or even if I could have taken more. Let's see. So we'll first a little bit stir a little bit because everything has to be combined nicely so that I can find out what's the flavor, the all-over flavor. Now I take a little spoonful. The color is beautiful. The texture is nice and creamy. It's a creamy juice. I love this, like a meal almost. But let's taste it. That's even more important. Ah, awesome. It's wonderful. Really nice. Yeah, I can taste the flavor of the peel. It's a very light flavor, but you know, together with all the other strong flavors, it's nicely balanced. That's good. But then you have to decide. If you make a juice like this and you use the peel, I would recommend, it's a very personal thing, you know, some people like it bitter, they like the peel. Others say, oh no, that's too much. So that, I would say, is up to you. For me, that's right. Try for yourself how much peel you want. Yeah? Not always all the peel. That is important to understand, I would say. So now I show you the juice, what it's like. It's really a rich, full, strong flavor, very powerful. And I love it already, just from one little tablespoonful here. This is what one glass looks like. And you see, it's a little bit creamy. That's nice, I like that. Some juices are runny, especially, for example, if I juice just carrots or cucumbers, they're even runnier. Firm and crunchy textures. That's a good juicing to begin with. Beet can be a little bit creamier. Depends on how fresh the beet is. Yeah, they're getting older, they're getting thicker, the juices, and so on. They all have different textures, the juices. This is a nice one where all the things come together. Orange juice, very runny usually. Yeah, so I will enjoy now. I can only really taste it if I have drank it all. You know, you have a little bit of flavor, the idea of the flavor, you drink it in a small amount, but then you take it down everything all the time. You understand more. The whole body tastes the juice and the effect overall. In general, beets have a very nice quality. They enhance endurance. So if you eat beet or drink beet juice, better when you eat it, of course, but you drink it also ahead of time, maybe 2 hours or 90 minutes before workout, you have a longer endurance with beets. And kale is the greens with all the minerals, and so they are wonderful for relaxation of muscles. You know, you have a nice, for example, if you work out and the muscles are cramping, and you have too little greens oftentimes, because inside the green is magnesium, and that is relaxing for the muscles. If you have too little of that, you might have cramps. And if I have enough greens on a fasting day or an eating day, especially on the fasting day and the day after, because they have a lack of nutrients then usually, then, possibly, then enough greens, always good to keep relaxed when the muscles won't cramp. Yeah. There's just some of the effects, but there's so many effects, of course. Okay, so juice fasting is great. If you do it the right way, it's easy. 1 day a week, I recommend. If you would like to know more about it, you can also comment and ask questions, or you can go to TriYoga Moon Fasting on Facebook. There's a Facebook page called TriYoga Moon Fasting. That's my yoga style. That juice fasting style comes from there. It's in the flow. TriYoga brought the flow into the yoga world. It wasn't there before. 1980 it was. There's a date to that. Yogini Kaliji was the one to do that. She was enlightened with the Kriyavati Siddhi, That is a special energy rising and producing these wonderful flows we know in yoga world now, and also have this living in the flow, this non-violent lifestyle, ahimsa lifestyle, an Indian way to talk about it. That is the origin of the Gentle Juicefasting, where we do things non-violently, so in the flow, without using force, without pushing us. That doesn't mean we cannot put a little effort into things. Yeah? There is a certain effort sometimes we need to do to start things, yeah? Especially where we stand. Yeah? And sometimes we have to use a little effort, but with the time, the effort becomes effortless effort into effortlessness. So these 3 states, until effortlessness is the highest state where we do everything in the flow. Yeah? And this idea of the flow, of the non-violent lifestyle, comes from TriYoga, and is a really new lifestyle. And it is, of course, goes with veganism, of course. Yeah, Kaliji is a big animal advocate for animal rights, and before she was enlightened with TriYoga, Kriyamati Siddhi, she became vegan a short time before, and then it happened, and still there. So go to TriYoga Moon Fasting on Facebook. You can be the member there and see my new juice recipes once a week, the moon fasting calendar with the best fasting days if you want. Otherwise, just like this video, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube, have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I hope to see you soon.